I got a button in my car that I can press and it'll park itself. But I drive by people who are hungry asking me for help. Amazon at 3 a.m. to check the contents of my cart. But I rarely ever stop to check the contents of my heart. And you might say I'm a terrible person, and I guess I am. And you might say I'm in need of a savior, and yes I am.
So Terrible Person kind of fits the theme of the rest of the EP. It's just about being honest. The idea for the song came when I was talking to a friend, and I was talking about the irony of owning a car and having the means to own a car that can park itself, and yet when there's people on the side of the road asking for help, you just drive right by them. I thought about that thought. I got a button in my car that I can press and it'll park itself. But yet I drive by people who are hungry asking me for help, and I was like, well, there goes the song. And I sat down at the piano and had those two chords just back and forth. And I sat there and I played the chords and I said those two lines and I said, you know what? I'm just gonna write a song about things that I would rather not admit. Put them all in a song so I just don't have to like shy away from them anymore and just whatever, I'm just gonna own up to them. So I have, the car, the fact that I'm blessed, and sometimes, I can just overlook people. And then, this is the worst, my wife will testify to this, me sitting up in bed on Amazon just like adding and deleting things from the cart and looking at the total. The second verse, when I wrote it, I kind of like stepped away and was like, shoot, I'm really doing this, And the second verse just says, my mama jokes and tells me that I work myself into my grave, and my friends are always telling me I really need to take a break. They think I'm always working because to me it feels more like play, but really my anxiety is driving me. I'm so afraid. I was like that for a long time in my life, where I just worked and worked and worked, and it wasn't just because I was enjoying it, and it wasn't because I had goals, it was because I was literally like afraid to stop. I was like so afraid of failing or so afraid of just like getting left behind and not just maximizing my own potential that I just literally worked myself to mental and emotional breakdowns repeatedly. And it's not something that I'm proud of. With the other things, I put that in just to kind of put it out there. Now everybody can hold me accountable, I guess. The chorus, I think, means a lot to me because it's something that's kind of been under the surface for a while. I feel like a terrible person because I am, and I feel I'm in need of a savior because I am, and I feel like I'm not good enough, but I do the best I can. I'm far from perfect, but I'm just a man. I think the best thing about this song is that everybody can write a verse to this song. Like, we all have those things that we know, like, we're ashamed of, or the things we just rather not bring up or people know. And I think that's gonna be the real appeal to this song. Everybody can feature on this song, every single one of us, and have our own verse. I'm not always the best person, but that's in God's hands. I'm gonna do the best that I can, and I just gotta understand that I'm not always gonna be perfect, and that's okay. And that's what I want people to kind of walk away from this song with, is just the feeling that, I have shortcomings, I mess up, but it's in God's hands. I'm just gonna do the best that I can, and at the end of the day, it's all right. The last verse in the song, I kind of just set the mic up, and it was recording what was happening in the room. And I ended up leaving it just because I loved the rawness of it. The last verse is about a young boy at my church that basically was in an accident, and he ended up dying. And I had seen him a few days before, and I saw him and I was like, oh, I need to go talk to him. And I convinced myself not to because I was busy. I was like, I just don't have time. I gotta get this done. So that verse is a constant reminder to me. Every time I was like working on this song or mixing it or just going back and listening or thinking about it right now, it's a constant reminder to me that people are more important than anything that I got going on, because that person that you love and want to talk to and you neglect to, you're not guaranteed. I didn't know the next time that I saw you, you'd be in that box. I look at this song as kind of like an anthem for imperfect people, and it ends the EP, I think, just in a really great way, because it gets really big and exciting, and it's like this really dark and sad song, but yet it has this redemption to it at the end, and kind of like this really triumphant ending that's like, after 5 songs of just talking about how much I can suck at life sometimes and how much we all can if we're honest, it ends up okay. Hopefully people listen to that song and they walk away encouraged, and listen to the EP and walk away encouraged. That would make me feel successful and not so much like a terrible person.